I'm your humble brother Taz, and you are now watching Crumb TV.
Hey, you are now watching Crumb TV.
Chrome TV.
Hey, we in Chicago, y'all, and y'all watching Crumb TV.
It's your brother, Tim Buck 2. I say.
You are now watching Crumb TV.
You in Chi-Town finest. You're in Inglewood, always up to no good.
Man, I'm telling my brother Crumb.
You're watching Crumb TV.
I'm your humble brother, and you are watching Crumb TV.
Reporting live from the Wild Hunter Southside Chicago.
And you now watching Crumb TV.
And you're watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV, baby. Hey.
Crumb TV.
Peace and love to all the community out there. We're waiting on Brother Crumb. He's having a couple of issues with his camera, so we will see if he could join us as the earliest that he could possibly can. Welcome once again, for coming to Crumb TV. Today we're going to bring you a new episode under the title Zodiac Decoded. Thank you for joining us. We're going to give Brother Crumb a couple minutes to come. In the meantime, while he gets here, we're going to address the first responders, as he always does when he's here. So we have Ancestor Gene. And actually it shows a little early on YouTube. So these are people that were already here. We also have Tris, Leonard, who says greetings, Royals, greeting to you as well. We have Sarah, blessings, Godly Goddess. And do we have anybody in the other platforms? We do have some. We have Ancestor also. Gene and on Facebook says please. We have Kai the Creatress says peace. Good to see you, Kai. We have Charbet says peace and love. Luis Gonzalez says woo. Let's go, baby. We're just waiting on Brother Crumb, and that's pretty much everybody. Just to give a few of the ones that did show up. Thank you for coming with us, joining us today. We have a special one today that I hope Brother Crumb gets to join us and give his intake on. In the meantime, while we're waiting for him, remember to please like the video, share it in all the platforms that you have. All right, we're under the title Zodiac Decoded today. You can find us on all the platforms. You can find us on YouTube. You can find me on under Facebook under Operation Wake the Fuck Up Tasmaniac Wolf, as well as all the other platforms. So just feel free to check us out on all of those. And still waiting on Brother Crumb to see if he'll show up right before I get right into the presentation. He wanted to be the one reading, but I will be more than glad to go forward. So let's just start up. Just in the meantime, while we're waiting for Brother Crumb to get his technical issues in order. Apologies for for the delay that we're having, but he is trying with us. But if you have followed my Facebook page for a while right now, one thing before we even get into it, if you're watching right now, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to reach my YouTube channel to a certain place, just so I could have access to all the aspects of and tools that YouTube offers or whatever. So I'm trying to get my subscribers to a certain to a certain number. So if you could subscribe, you could find me on YouTube under the Taz Show. Subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you could get all the notifications. All right, and under Facebook you find me under Tasmaniac Wolf. With that said, if you've been following my Tasmaniac Wolf page, you know that I've been prepping this for a while with the whole astrology. All right, I've been throwing a lot of things out there when it comes to the aspect of astrology. Today we're going to get into certain aspects that that are going to take us away from the myth that they're selling us, and we're just going to logically look into it so we could come up with with an answer to what it is that this represents. All right. So with that said, I put together a couple of facts about astrology, and we're going to read them. We have 5 bullets. First, I have 2 of these slides with a total of 10 bullets, but let's read the first ones. If you didn't know about facts about astrology, the word horoscope and astrology are 2 of the most searched topics on the internet. All right. They are 2 of the most searched topics on the internet. Just the words alone, horoscope and astrology. All right. On bullet number 2, it says astrology is an art and a science. Astrology is an art because interpretation is needed to bring the different aspects together, formulated an idea of the individual's character traits. However, the mathematical part of astrology is also considered to be a science because it requires an understanding of astronomy and mathematics. All right. So there is more to what they're really, really, really telling us. All right. It's not just, oh, the whole pseudoscience, that's not what it's about, Taz, because that's what they tell you, especially with religion. Religion has tried to get rid of astrology for a long, long time. One thing that I've realized in this perception that we're all having is the fact that whenever the powers that be tell you to stay away from something, is best that you actually dig into it and look into what it is that they're really telling you. Otherwise, you're gonna probably keep yourself from a specific kind of knowledge that could have helped you in a in the long run. All right. Number 3, it says Sixtus the Fourth was the first Catholic pope to draw and interpret a horoscope. All right. So this actually was something that was part of the Catholic Church, and then they realized what it was going to lead to, and they removed it. Just like they removed a lot of books, just like they removed a lot of stuff, is the same thing. Peace and love to the chat. Thank you for joining us. I see Barbara Jackson saying hello, Taz. Thank you for being here. So just share, like, make sure that you know that if you're on Facebook, share it on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, put it in one of your playlists. I greatly appreciate you. Subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow it, the Taz Show. So hope to catch you guys there. Now, the 5th bullet, it says, I'm sorry, the 4th bullet, it says Leo the 10th and Paul the 3rd always relied on astrologers for advice. Julius II used astrology to choose his coronation date. All right. So all throughout history, this Catholic religion or this powers that be have actually practiced this, but they've mixed it up in a way that we can no longer understand it. All right. Or that has been demonized. It's been demonized. It's been put to the side. Now it's considered pseudoscience. So let's look at some aspects about it. Bullet 5, it says it's common knowledge that 90% of Wall Street brokers use astrology. If you look deep into the subject, you'll see that Wall Street brokers, the people that are making this big I call them bets, because that's what you do at the stock market. You're making a bet. You're taking a chance on something. I know they call it investment, but when you're taking a chance on losing or winning, to me, that's a bet. But anyways, these Wall Street brokers, 90% of them rely on astrology on how they invest their money, when they invest into what, for what planets it's aligned in a certain place for me to go forward with my investment or retract myself from the investment. So 90% of these Wall Street brokers do this. Bullet 6, it says the moon affects the body just like it affects the ocean. Let's not forget the body is 75% water. 75% water, somewhere around that area. So if the moon could actually make motion in the ocean, because it is the reason why we have high tide and low tide. All right. So if the moon has this effect on the on a body of liquid so huge, and we're mainly water, I'm pretty sure there's a high chance that the moon has an effect on us. All right. Number seven, bullet seven says more women than men love astrology, and 31% of Americans believe in astrology. All right. Number eight says of all the ancient calendar systems, the Maya and other Mesoamerican systems are the most complex and intricate. The Mayans created such an accurate version of the calendar that their margin of error was minuscule. It was damn near not existent. Not that it was perfect. They didn't get to the perfection aspect, but they did get damn near there. Damn near there. They were able to predict things as far as what you were gonna do in life, what you were gonna become good at, what were your years of life gonna be? Were you gonna have a good life or a troubled life? Every aspect of your life, the Mayans were able to decipher it with their calendar. That's how intricate and complex it was. Number nine, it says in the Mayan calendars, a person's birthday or day sign determined their faith throughout life. The newborn child was thus connected with a particular god and remained under that god's influence. We're not talking about a specific deity. We're talking about the deification of the planets, of the astros above us. All right, because everything occurs in patterns, and it keeps on occurring above us. All right, so it affects since it affects our body, we consider these deities to in this influential astros above us to be some kind of god, but it was just a personification. It does not mean that there was the god of war up there or the god of whatever, up. No, these are just aspects that have taken us away from the natural aspects of things. Now, number 10, a fetus's brain development is affected by the movement of the sun, moon, and planets as they interfere with the Earth magnetic field, which has influences on the fetus's occupation later in life. The child's brain development while she's inside within the darkness of her mama's womb, that development of the brain is affected depending on those 10 months that she's. I know you guys been told, it's 9 months in a pregnancy. It's not. It's 10 months, but we'll get into that a little later on. But their brain development is affected in the process of her 10 months of pregnancy. The brain goes through certain changes. This has been proven. There is actual tests that have been done, and different astronomers or scientists have done different tests, I guess, that they could determine certain things. All right, but it affects the fetus's occupation. One of those, but those are 10 facts of astrology first. But one of those specific ones had just occurred. All right, so let's talk about a scientific fact in astrology. All right, because there was a movement of the astros above us where we were telling ourselves that, oh, we're waiting for our powers. Everybody was waiting for their powers. I seen posts on. Let me drink some water, family. I needed some life inside me, but I seen a lot of posts on Facebook that were saying, I better wake up to my powers. I better be able to jump high at over a building, and everybody was just expecting to just magically, at the snap of the finger, something was going to occur. All right, but all right. There was something that happened. There was a conjunction or an alignment between Saturn, Jupiter, and the Earth. It was very, very, very important for us because that alignment of those astros created something, energy that was given into the Earth because we are the center of creation. Yeah, other people, they subscribe to the whole aspect of, a vast, never-ending space. I put myself in the middle of creation. I am creation. Everything around here, is because of us, and with that said, let's read right here about the scientific facts in astrology. It says from 1946 to 1971, John H. Nelson, an astronomer and radio engineer working for RCA Communications Company in New York, published an article in RCA Review describing a theory for predicting short wave radio propagation over the North Atlantic. He compared planetary positions relative to the sun with logs of propagation conditions maintained at the RCA's receiving station at Long Island. Nelson found that disturbances, all right, disturbances occurred primarily in the presence of significant planetary configurations. Of nearly 1,500 forecasts that he made in 1967, he had an accuracy rate of 93.2%. He did not dare to admit his work as astrologically based. Instead, he called it astrophysics. But he was actually using all the planetary configurations and major angular astrologers have been using ever since the beginning of time. All right. I don't want the family to think that this is I understand that there's a concept that, and we're going to get into it, that right now is being presented to us in a European concept, but there is more to it. There's a whole lot more to it. Our ancestors, whether you were, it didn't matter what part of the world you were. It didn't matter your race or anything. We've been attracted to the astros and everything that's happening above us since the beginning of time, if there was a beginning of time, because time has no beginning and no end. So how could there been a beginning? But I mean, that's another another story. But there's links within this PowerPoint, and actually, if I could make a banner, Chrome TV at gmail.com. So if you guys want this PowerPoint or any of the PowerPoints that we've put out there, feel free to contact Brother Crumb. All right, contact him at crumbtvads@gmail.com for this and any of the PowerPoints that you have seen on our platforms, whether it be my platform, his platform, or if it's something from Brother Ponder or any of the other people that we have here. Everybody has provided a plethora of material. All right. With that said, let's continue. This PowerPoint has its links to everything that I'm stating. I'm not just putting stuff here. So this article that I'm speaking in regards about, it has a link to it where it will take you directly to the study that was created, by this John H. Nelson, and is going to explain everything to you. All right. So the PowerPoint comes with the receipts behind the aspect that I'm bringing to the family today. All right. Feel free to check it out. Read into it. It will help you out drastically if you're looking to learn more about this specific part of the PowerPoint. With that said, all right, let us move on. The introduction. Each sign has an essence and a power. Each power has a sign that is one that has somehow moves, motivates, channels, and leads to a plethora of destinations, or at least to a series of trends that end up forming the history of each of us. Most people consult horoscope tables, which are neither more nor less than a system or divinatory methods to predict future events of a person. To do this, an interpretation is made of a person. To do this, an interpretation is made of the relative position of the planets of the solar system and the zodiac signs at the time of birth. All right. So this has been done for a very long time. And because of that, it has been determined that each sign has an essence and a power that comes behind it. You might want to call it an ability. You might want to call it a superpower, whatever you might want to call it, but something is affiliated with with the places where the moon was at, where the sun was at, and where the astros above us were at on the time of our birth. All right, for each of us. And let me rephrase that, at the time of our rebirth. All right. We have Brother Crumb with us. So happy that you were to fix the problem, Brother Crumb. You want to address the family?
Oh, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Peace and love to everybody. Thank you so much for your patience, everybody watching, all 200 of you. I'm so happy and humbled to be in the building. Uh, I was eating some fruit right then, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Yeah, brother, please continue. I'll just chime in where I can.
All right. Well, I was explaining to the family, that each sign has an essence and a power. All right. And because of that, we're able to determine this by where the sun, the moon, and the astros were at, depending on our date of birth. All right. And this has been done for a very, very long time. There's different interpretations or whatever, but it is something that we've been able to notice that is relevant to us, but it has been put to us in a demonized way, or as in how can I put, like it's not real. It's something outside of what it's supposed to be. Go ahead, brother.
Brother, I wanted to ask, did you see that movie Life with not Eddie Murphy, but the one with the cartoon version Life on Disney with Jamie Foxx?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the Life movie with Jamie Foxx, before the children were born, they developed their personality, not after they were born. So I find it to be very interesting that, in essence, our personality was based on something prior to us, experiencing things. Oh, well, she's like that because she had a hard life. Oh, no, she was going to be like that regardless.
So if we could continue with the intro, you want to read, brother?
However, although in one way or another, everyone points out that each sign has its own characteristics. This isn't always clear because they're described in a complex way with their positive and negative aspects. We never talk about the characteristics as a whole, clear and simple way that allows us to understand our character and our actions.
So we have a plethora. We have a plethora of people that do this. All right. I actually, before I started this, before I even thought of presenting this, I asked, the whole community. I put a post out there asking people, hey, anybody interested, wanting to put their 2 cents in. I had probably like one or two people, but I know there is many people that have different aspects of how to correlate these events that occur above us or whatever, but nobody, as far as I saw it, has simplified it in a way where it's comprehensible and is a simple way for you to understand it and to be able to look at it from not such oh, this is some mythical, X-Men stuff or whatever, so that's pretty much what I'm going to try to attempt to do throughout the process of this PowerPoint, by simplifying what it is that these astrologers tell us and mystify us with all this other stuff. But if you didn't want to add anything else, brother, next slide.
Yeah. Please. This is a simplified way with the essential of each sign, which mobilizes the mind and heart according to its zodiacal nature, and which I am sure will allow you to better understand not only some important aspects of your life, but also the behavior of the people around you. But above all, if you use this information well, you can count on a very valuable tool to guide you towards your purpose in life, discovering your inner power that is neither more or less than your true alchemical essence.
Exactly. One thing that I want you to understand is, just like the moon has its effect on water, and we are mainly water. These astros, these other astros, the sun, the moon, Pluto, all these other planets up there, constellations, everything else, it has an effect on us. And what's happening while we're in this ecosystem is alchemy. Because remember, they tell us that that supposedly, biblically speaking, God separated the waters from the waters, but we fail to realize that air is also water. So even though we are outside the liquid, we are also still within water. There is chemicals, that fluids that are being pushed around all around us. They're just in a different form, whether they be a gas, they be a solid, they be a liquid. It's all over. Alchemy is happening within us, outside of us, around us, everywhere we could see. And these elements that the earth has available all have a certain effect on us every time that a certain alignment happens above us.
Brother, do you talk about Dr. Emoto in this PowerPoint?
No, I don't even know who do this, to be honest.
Dr. Emoto did the water test, and it fits in perfect with exactly what you're saying, because basically the only thing that's happening is these vibrations are going through us, and it's manipulating our cells, our water. So now if you go and look at Dr. Emoto, Dr. Emoto got several droplets of water, and he put a certain energy on them, and he would freeze flash them, so they will instantly be frozen. So he would say things that had a particular energy signature on it. So he would say things like love, beautiful, gratitude, appreciation. And the water, water always forms 6 sides. Water in this realm, all water forms 6 sides. So if it freezes, it's going to be 6 sides. If it turns to gas, it'll be 6 sides. Whatever the case may be, it's always 6 sides. I mean, sorry, except for in liquid form, there are no sides. But nonetheless, when it snows, all snowflakes, even though they are different shapes, millions, kabillions, kalillions, I'm just making words up, they all form 6 sides. Even when we go to Saturn, this is called cymantics. You're going to send a energy through a medium, which in this case would be our bodies, and it's going to make it form a certain type of shape. Now, once these shapes form, it'll determine what you want to do. So you're going to play, some Mob Deep or some rock and roll before a fight or a mosh pit, because that's that energy that will make you have that certain energy. Certain shape, because certain shapes transmit certain energies. That's why you have the pyramids. They're so powerful, because it's a triangle, it's a square, it's a diamond, so on and so forth. But absolutely, brother, the shapes are determined by the energies, and certain energies, don't get all bent out of shape. Well, they're talking about your cells, because it's no different than water. When you throw a pebble on water, it will ripple. Well, if somebody's hard, you're not going to affect them, versus somebody who's an empath. Maybe somebody else's slight energy is going to change. I hate being an empath, because these people manipulate my shape so easy. I wish I had tough skin, or I was people who went to Vietnam, we call those leathernecks. They got tough skin. You can't change their minds or sway them. They're shell shocked from battle. But let's continue, please.
Facts. All right, so moving on. What is the zodiac? If you can breathe it, probably.
In astronomy, the zodiac, from the Greek zodiacus kaikos, meaning wheel of animals, is formerly a band of the celestial circle, 18 degrees wide, centered on the elliptic, which is not fixed, but it moves slightly with time over the background of the sky. This band is divided into 12 equal parts, one universal center, which is Ophiuchus, called zodiacal signs. What do we have here, brother?
So what I want the family to understand is that what's really above us, it's an act. That's the reason why I have a time clock, right, or a watch right here. All right, what's happening above us, it's a very, very, very complex clock. All right. I wish I would have put an astronomer's clock right here, and we will be able to get a glimpse of it. But pretty much what I'm trying to get to is the fact, for example, in this watch right here, we have a small hand, we have a long hand, two long hands, and we have the two long hands. One of them is very thin, and the other one is very thick. All right, the small hand, which is further away from the accurate time, only tells you one aspect of time that represents the sun circulating above us. All right, the small hand could only tell you, oh, it's 7 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, but it could be 8:10, it could be 8:20, 8:30. That's what you got the moon for. The moon is the long clock, the long arm, which is the thicker one, which gives you an aspect of a more of an exact timing. All right, the sun is telling you it's 8 o'clock, but the moon is telling you it's 8:15. And then you have also the long arm, which is a lot thinner than the minutes one, which is the seconds one. The second one represents the constellation that is happening above, that is circulating above us. That's why the constellations never change. We always see the same ones. They always show up in different times, because it's a clock that is circulating above us, and we get different aspects of reality during certain time ages. We know time as far as hours, minutes, days, months, decades, but we're not talking of ages. Of an event that happens every 2,300 to 2,500 years. We're stuck on a time span that is very, very small, and we're not looking at the bigger picture. You want to add something, brother?
No, please, let's continue. Well, no, let me go back real quick. Yeah. When we're dealing with, it says will. In the Bible, it refers to Ezekiel's will, which was able to help him travel through space. When we're dealing with space, we're dealing with time. It's called the space-time continuum. So in the Bible, Ezekiel had traveled on a wheel. It's often called Ezekiel's wheel, and a lot of people refer to that wheel as a zodiac clock. But please continue.
Thanks.
Why start at Aries? Taking as reference the Aries point of intersection between the elliptical and the celestial equator, but also the mark of new beginnings, like spring. This way, each of the 12 signs comprises exactly an arc of 30 degrees of elliptic length and 9 degrees of elliptic latitude. The zodiacal signs are Aries.
And we lost Brother Crumb. Let's see if we get him back real quick. So let's continue from where he left off. It says the zodiacal signs are areas of the celestial encasing that are defined in a different way to how the constellations of the same name are defined. All right. Now, if you notice there, I have underlined the very, very, very bottom. Brother Crumb seems to be having some technical difficulties, so just give him time. I see some of the families asking. He'll return in a couple of minutes as soon as he gets it together. I believe it's his mic that's creating some of this, but I mean, who knows? He knows better than we do. But he'll be back in a few minutes. But the reason why we start at Aries is because that is the point in the ecliptical when all beginnings start. All right, meaning spring, the new year, the real new year. All right, because new year brings about new beginnings. All right, and with new beginnings, you have the rebirth of everything. The tree's been dead all winter, the grass been brown all winter. And now everything comes back to life. and this happens during the zodiacal sign of Aries, and that's the reason to why today we have Aries as the beginning, not because it is the beginning. The time doesn't have a beginning or an end, but this is the reason as to why Aries is considered the first sign. All right. So moving forward, while we still wait for Brother Crumb, he should return in a few minutes. And and let me see. Yeah. All right. So now we have the sidereal and the tropical zodiac. All right. It's a it says the sidereal and tropical are terms used to describe two different definitions of a year. In astrology, they refer to two different systems of ecliptic coordinates using to divide the ecliptic into 12 signs. Each sign is divided into 30 degrees, making a total of 360 degrees. All right. Now, what we use more here in the Western world is what we know today as the tropical zodiac. But a lot more other people that know exactly what's going on utilize the sidereal zodiac sign. And there's also we have the 13 moon zodiac sign that it consists of 28 days, 13 months, and which is a whole lot more accurate. All right. But for more information, if you do decide to get this PowerPoint, just contact us at Crumb TV Ads, and we'll be able to give this to you. But right here we have a link, that in the case that you might want to get some receipts in regards about what it's talking about. All right, so it takes you to an actual page that will give you more detail. It says, what is the sidereal sign? It says true sidereal astrology is the astrology that uses the actual size of the constellations in the sky. In other words, the real location of the planets at the time of one's birth. Not very many people are aware, but most commonly used astrology in the world, tropical astrology, sets the constellations to the seasons of the earth. All right. So tropical astrology is setting the constellation based on the seasons on the birth, not what they're actually seeing above the sky. And that's why it's so inaccurate. That's why it's so out of place. All right, because they're utilizing the seasons of the earth. Fall, autumn, winter. Summer, and all of these. To determine what these astrological signs are, when in reality that's not even really where it's at. All right. And it says at the moment, the two systems are around 24 degrees apart, depending on which system is used. This translates to a difference of up to two zodiac signs away from the actual placement. So based on that tropical sign, you could be as far away as two zodiac signs away from what you truly are and your essence really represents. And it goes deeper into it. I'm not going to go into the whole link. It's just wanted to make sure that that you guys were aware that it is available within the PowerPoint, in case you want to get more information to lead you down the sidereal. But we're still waiting on Brother Crumb to see if he gets his sound together. Moving on, the Great Cosmic Wheel. All right. And it says, everything has its cycles. The great cosmic wheel turns before us and within us. And just as the zodiac is a wheel of constellations or signs, so are we. And it manifests in our existence, past, present, and future. In Mayan teachings, when a person dies, the zodiacal sign under which his sign departure occurs, i.e., or for example, the sign in which the constellation and planets are positioned, is the sign in which that person will be born in his next reincarnation. The period between death and rebirth lasts 49 days, involves 3 bottles and 10 months of pregnancy. Welcome back, Brother Crumb.
Gratitude.
So according to to the great cosmic wheel, there's cycles that it goes through, and that cycles that occur within this great cosmic wheel, and in the Mayan teachings, there is an aspect or a theory in which they were able to realize that that on the sign that you died on the day, and the planets where the planets were located, that is the time that you're gonna return and be reborn again. All right, it's gonna take 49 days for you to recollect everything into your akashic records. Everything you've acquired from the previous incarnation that you just finished having. You're going to grab all the knowledge that you learned. If all you learned was Christopher Columbus discovered America, you ain't going to add nothing to the akashic records, because we already all so you literally came here for nothing. You came with Christopher, and you left with him. But you take 49 days to input everything into your akashic records, analyze it. All right, and it also after the 49 days, which is the equivalent of 3 bottles. 3 bottles is a length of time, like per se a year. I'm not telling you that it equates to a year. I'm just telling you that a bottles is a length of time that they claim they claim that measures the amount of time that you spend while you're dead and reincarnate. And afterwards, you actually have your 10 months of pregnancy, and that equates to your 13 lunar cycle or your 12 sun cycles, and you are reborn again, which brings you back to the same side that you died on. If you wanted to add anything, brother.
Somebody was asking about 10 months of pregnancy.
Well, 10 months of pregnancy. The reason why you have 10 months of pregnancy and not 9, they tell you, is because we're under the impression that a month could have anywhere from 28 to 31 days, and that's chaotic. There is no correlation in between that. In reality, each cycle of pregnancy is measured by the moon, and that's why you have monthly cycles or monthly cycles, and each monthly cycle is based on 28 days, and you have 40 weeks of pregnancy. What do you get if you multiply if you divide 40 into 13? No, how is it? You have 40 weeks. 40 week equates to 28 days, which is 10 months of pregnancy.
Gotcha.
Month having 28 days.
Just want to let the family know, it's not an email anymore. You just go to crumbtv.info. No more email, just crumbtv.info. Gratitude.
Oh, okay. So my apologies. Yeah, because I had put a banner up about Crumb TV ads at gmail.com.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, well, you can still do it for now. Well, I'll just send you the link to crumbtv.info. But yeah, that's it just sends you to the website. But yeah, no, please, I'm sorry.
My apologies. But yeah, just look into the fact that that 40 weeks, if you add it up into months of 28 days each month, it's literally 10 months, not 9 months. Because if you use the other months, you're gonna end up with 9 months and 2 weeks. That's chaotic. There's 2 weeks still up in the air. Go ahead.
Just to be clear on what you're saying it's 10 moon cycles.
It's 10 moon cycles. Each moon cycle lasts 28 days.
Right.
A woman's period or cycle, comes about every 28 days.
Right. So 9 months according to the Gregorian calendar, 10 moon cycles according to the moon. But yeah, that's
right. moon and everything that happens within women. But anyways, brother, if you can for us.
The zodiac. There are 13 zodiac signs, and each sign has its own strengths and weaknesses, its own specific traits, desires, and attitude towards life and people. By analyzing the projection of the position of planets and the sun and the moon on the ecliptic at the moment of birth. I feel like I read that wrong. By analyzing the projection of the position of the planets and the sun and the moon and the ecliptic at the moment of birth.
Correct.
Okay. Astrology can give us a glimpse of a person's basic characteristics, preferences, flaws, and fears. Each of the 13 horoscope signs belong to one of the five elements: air, fire, water, earth, and ether. These elements represent an essential type of energy that acts in each of us.
Facts. So within the 13 signs, I'm stating 13 signs because I'm going to present you a perspective in which, because I see that there is somebody already, Luis Gonzalez, 13. I thought it was 12 zodiacs for each month we have. The current Gregorian calendar tells you have 12 months, which is total chaos. It's not perpetual synchronicity. All right. So there's different aspects, different calendars, but a more concrete and accurate calendar shows you that there is 28 days in each month or moon cycle, and there is 13 months, which equates to 364 days and 1 day at a time, which leaves you a time for you to be able to place everything back into the akashic records that you've recorded throughout the last 13 months.
Teach.
All right. So, but just look into it, divide 360 into 13, and it'll give you an average of 28 days per each one. Right. 12 disciples and Christ represent the 13. They've shown us uh, uh, um, the aspect of 12 to lead us away from 13, because even 13, there's a name for that. When you're afraid of 13, there is an actual name for that. It's an actual psychological name for that. I just can't think of it right now, but that fear of the number 13. Hold on, let me ask. What is the disorder called when you're afraid of the number 13? Triskaidekaphobia. Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13, which is what the Gregorian people, the Gregorian calendar have. The Gregorian calendar has triskaidekaphobia, which is the fear of the number 13. They tell you have 12, right? Like Friday the 13th is supposed to be a whatever. If you go to most buildings, they don't have famous buildings anyway. They don't have a 13th floor. All right. They tell you you have 12 cranial nerves, but you don't. You got 13. They just don't want to tell you about the 13th one. There's different aspects, and like I believe one of the goddesses or one of the gods had mentioned, that there is 12 disciples, but Jesus was also a disciple. He was also represented as the 13th disciple, exact and correct, the galactic human. All right, so that just look into that. But those 13 months are ruled by the elements. All right, and these elements, they help us depending on where these astros are situated. So if we can, brother.
The zodiac. Astrology aims to help us focus these energies on the positive aspects to gain a better understanding of our potential and our positive traits and deal with the negative ones. These five elements help describe the unique personality types associated with astrology signs. The five zodiac elements exhibit profound influence on basic character traits, emotions, behavior, and thinking.
Facts. And to add to it, when you look at the Gregorian aspect, they don't even have five elements because they have to eliminate one. all right, to get us out of balance. They, if you Google it right now and ask Google how many elements there is, Google gonna tell you there's 4 elements, because they're not gonna want to address ether, because ether destroys a lot of stuff. All right, it is beyond I guess what the European can comprehend. But moving on. All right. So let's look into the element of water.
The element of water. This is the element of constant movement, but slowly and steady, swirling inside each of us and holding on to its mystery. This is the element of conception and death, of illusions and fairy tales, holding the secret to our soul, its beginning and its end. In the element of water, we literally deal with matters of life and death, of our genetic inheritance and all of our ancestors. Strangely, this is also the element of emotions. We also have we all have to understand that our emotions have already been lived through by generations of to generations, from generation to generation, mostly through the role of the mother. Water signs are exceptionally emotional and ultra sensitive. These are highly intuitive, and they can be as mysterious as the ocean itself. Water signs love profound conversations and intimacy. They rarely do anything openly and are always there to support their loved ones. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces.
Facts. So when we're talking about the element of water, there's certain signs that are ruled by the water. Water, is the element that was never created. According to religiously speaking, water was already there. The world was in chaos, and God hovered over the waters, and He separated the waters from above, the waters from the waters, and He placed the waters. He separated the waters from above from the waters from below. So there was water all over the place. There was liquid or fluid all over the place. All right, and with the water element, there is a lot of characteristics that come with dealing with these specific signs, which are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And we'll get more into it once we arrive to each sign. But the element of fire.
Sorry about that. The element of fire. When speaking about the element of fire, we have to keep in mind that this is the only element that shines. Water can sparkle, that's true, but only if it reflects the light created by fire. Whether a campfire or the sun as an enormous fiery celestial body. This is the element that represents energy itself, and even though there is a lot of earthly energy in the element of water, it cannot be compared with the amount of energy that lives in the sun, even though they might be equally important to the human race. Fire signs tend to be passionate, dramatic,
Thank
and temperamental. They can get angry quickly, but they also forgive easily. They are adventurous with immense energy. They are physically very strong and are a source of inspiration for others. Fire signs are intelligent, self aware, creative, and idealistic people, always ready for action. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
Facts, facts. So when we're looking into the fire signs, we're speaking about everything that once you come into this realm, it gives life. You have to if you don't sun gaze, I suggest you do. Because you're gonna need the vitamins that the sun provides from you, instead of going to Walgreens and get you get you a bottle of the vitamins. So fire is the element that provides a lot of life in this realm. And it even compares. It's great in comparison, even with water. All right, and there's a lot of characteristics that come with these elements, especially when it comes to Aries. Well, when it comes to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, because they're the only fire signs. All right. So
Well,
moving on.
if I could just elaborate on fire, is like water, um, and air. However, it's a little more volatile. You can bring water into a form as well as air technically, but you can't bring fire into a form. Fire is it's not something you can categorize or put into a box. It won't take the shape of its container. It's very set in its ways, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's perfect, and you can't manipulate it in any type of way. Very, very warming, but very, very dangerous.
Facts, facts. So the element of earth, brother, if you can.
The element of earth is the sole purpose of all carnal elements, since it represents a basis for each of them. For our existence and something we all want to accomplish, materialization of our desires. This is this is a somewhat complicated element because it is stiff and unmovable, especially when a person has a lot of planets in it, but not enough of them in the element of air to balance it out. This is the element of our realm and got its name by it too. We should keep this in mind when we interpret anyone's chart. For lacking the earth might point to big problems a person has finding grounding or connecting to the soil when they were born, that they were born to. Earth signs are grounded, and the ones that bring us down to the earth, earth signs are grounded, and they're the ones that bring us down to earth. They are mostly conservative and realistic, but they can also be very emotional. They are connected to our material, excuse me, they are connected to our material reality and can be turned to material goods. They are practical, loyal, and stable, and they stick by their people through hard times. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn.
Facts. Now, with the element of earth, as you can see in the little gift that I have, you know, it's a little bit of a combination of both of the previous elements, that brings everything about, when it comes to earth, so water and earth, and water and fire, it helps. I mean, it is created due to this planet, that we're in this ecosystem, and because of it is such a hard element, such a solid element. It's always very firm. They're always very good at knowing what it is that they're standing on, and their characteristics are also represented very well in the signs that is correlated, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, as it says. Want to add something, Brother Cromore?
Yeah, when we're dealing with Earth, we definitely understand it's kind of a diametric opposite, almost. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's definitely not the diametric opposite to fire, but like fire doesn't take form. Earth definitely takes form. It definitely takes form, and it takes strong form when we're dealing with, even from the biblical sense. God made man from the dirt, the clay. Some call it clay because God made man on a potter's wheel. That's the same thing we're going to see in Egyptology as well, where I think it's Amun who creates man on this same potter's wheel, where man is clay or dirt. We're going to see the same story with Prometheus,
Okay.
making man on a potter's wheel from dirt. If you go and look at the lotus flower is represents life. It represents the yoni. But did you know that the lotus flower only grows from out of the mud?
Facts.
So we're going to see this beautiful relationship. When you want to clean your skin, pigs, they wallow in the mud. Well, you ever tried to go to one of these high fancy spas? You know what they put on your face at the high fancy spa? A mud mask. Put a mud mask. You want to clean your jank? Here, let me put this mud mask on you. Mud? Yeah, the earth. Oh, Crumb, how do you vegans get your B12? You know where B12 is found at, right, brother?
B12.
B12, the
Mm.
dirt. B12 coming from the dirt. You vegans got to figure out where you're getting your B12 from. You got to get it from the dirt. My mother-in-law, she said when she was pregnant, follow me, family. She said when she was pregnant, she craved dirt. I said, mama-in-law, you were craving B12 and you knew where to get it. See, I'm out here in Atlanta. Out here in Atlanta, it's that red clay. That stuff good for you. You were actually, not to get too far off topic, we're going to get right back to it, but I want to give, a big shout out to my earth signs. You were talking about diametric earth. What was that you were talking about, brother?
Diametric Earth. I'm not following.
It was something you say, hey, a lot of health people don't talk about it. Demetrius earth, diametric earth.
Oh, diatomaceous Earth. Yes.
Diatomaceous earth. What's that?
It's a mineral that you get from the earth, and it helps you to cleanse your body. Dr. Sabi made a mention in regards about it, and it comes from the ground. It's very, very helpful. It has amazing. So I have a big old jar in the kitchen that I utilize every morning, and
So,
when you drink it, I've given it to my children, and they're like, Dad, that's dirt. You giving me dirt? It tastes like dirt. I'm like,
wait. So you telling me right now you be eating dirt?
Can I go get it real quick?
Okay, so the brother's eating dirt. So it ain't just me, right? It ain't just me. The brother never told me he was eating. He talked about it. He said, brother, what's going on with this earth? I said, what are you talking about? The brother over there eating dirt. Okay, what do we have here, brother?
This is diatomaceous earth. I take a tablespoon every morning. It helps to take out heavy metals from inside you. It helps your liver to cleanse things even faster out of your bloodstream. Everything else is a mineral that is very, very necessary for the body. And believe it or not, I used to be 270 pounds. I'm at 168 last time I checked, and I've lost 100 pounds, not off of this, but it has helped me a lot because of it. So diatomaceous earth, if you guys want to go look it up. I'm not no doctor. I'm not telling you to go drink nothing. Do not come back. Taz didn't say nothing. Go do your own research, and based on what you come up with, see if this is a mineral that you would like to utilize in your daily routine. But anyway,
shout out to all my earth signs, the element of air. Let's get into it. Is it okay, brother?
Please, brother.
This is the element that connects to all other elements, even though it might seem less relevant. Invisible as it is, the distance from the nature of earth lifts us up high in impractical and mental planes that don't satisfy our physical needs. Still, this is the element that can be found in all others, keeps the fire going while water contains 21% oxygen. I'm sorry, I see what you were doing there. Still, this is the element that can be found in all others. It keeps the fire going, which is air, keeps fire going, and as well as it contains as well as water. I'm sorry, excuse me. While water contains 21% oxygen, H2O. I see what you did there. We may say that the beginning of life wouldn't be possible without fire, but there would be no fire on our planet without air. The element of air gives us room to breathe, widens our lungs, and with them opens our soul to personal freedom. All signs that belong to this element have a strong need to feel liberated and free. Air signs are rational, social, and love communication and relationships with other people. They are thinkers, friendly, intellectual, communicative, and analytical. They love philosophical discussions, social gatherings, and good books. They enjoy giving advice, but they can also be very superficial. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
Facts, facts. And that's one of the main elements that is being taken from us. Why? Because we have a contract with the trees. We have a contract with the trees where we give out CO2. They take that and turn it into oxygen for us. All right. So we could survive. This air that we breathe, has to come from the trees. And we've cut the vast majority of them down. We believe that we have some of these. They tell us that the biggest tree right now in the United States is the sequoias that are in, I can't recall where.
California, sequoias in California.
California is the biggest trees that we have around that are left in the United States, or maybe the Americas. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it, but they are the biggest trees when we don't realize that we used to have trees the size of mountains that used to touch the sky. Could you imagine how much oxygen was in the air if those trees were around? If you wanted to run, if you wanted to swim from California to the damn Australia, you would have done it. You would have had enough energy and oxygen. You would have never got tired. If you wanted to run from Chicago all the way to Mexico, you would have made it, because your organs would have received more oxygen. You would have became bigger. Everybody keeps saying, Taz, the giants, they existed. There used to be giants on the lands or whatever. Yeah, I know. It was us. We're shrinking, fucking shrinking. They can't have us as this big god-like entities. If we really rule the world, why are we the stupidest fucking beings on the planet? Nobody got to teach the animals nothing. Nobody teaches the animal nothing. But we got to be taught everything, and we got to pay for that knowledge. Who teaches the bird to build his nest? The bird is born knowing that shit.
Teach.
Who teaches the beaver how to be a dam? The beaver creates a dam. That's actual. I forget what's that called.
Instinct.
No. It's something that we do now. Like the person that goes and learns how to make buildings. They learn they learn a certain trade or whatever that the beaver is born with.
Yeah. Right.
That the beaver is already born with. The beaver don't got to go to school to learn how to put a dam together. They fucking know how to do it. But you, to put a dam together, you got to go to school and you got to pay. You better come with that money, or you ain't never going to build no dam. You better go ask the beaver. Go ask the damn beaver. But we're at the top of the food chain, though. But anyways, air, brother, is very important. Is a very important element. Moving on, though, if you didn't have nothing else to add.
The element of ether. In astrology, ether, akasha in Sanskrit, also called quintessence, fifth element. It is known to represent a subtle energy level of subconscious. This awareness of our own existence is believed to surround and penetrate our physical and mental senses. It can be seen as a dark energy considered to be a higher element than air, earth, fire, and water. It's the mother that contains all the other elements bound together. The name, written in various ways, has Greek origins and derived from their personalizing of the influences of the sky. Commonly recognized, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead, brother.
Commonly recognized as the essence breathed by gods in the same way humans breathe air, ether's power allows control over elemental, cosmic, spiritual, and transcendental forces. Regarded as divine power, users that can control ether are considered godlike, essentially becoming invincible. All zodiac signs possess the ability of this sign, but the Ophiuchus, it comes natural and easier.
Facts. So ether, when we talking about ether, is the everything, is the fluid that is everywhere, is the 70% of reality that you can't see, but it doesn't mean it's not there. All right. Ether was what Tesla was studying, but they had to shut him down because ether is anti-gravity. Ether is anti-gravity, so it destroys the whole heliocentric model. All right, ether destroys the whole heliocentric model. All right, and that's why it hasn't been accepted. But back in the day, in 1920, even Einstein accepted the fact that without ether, there is no existence. There is no existence, and I have the little video, so it's a minute and a half, so it ain't gonna take too much time. But let's listen to the man himself say how Tesla was right and he was wrong.
Although skeptics often point to Einstein's theory of relativity, it was Einstein who in 1920 said,
"There are weighty arguments to be adduced in favor of the ether hypothesis. To deny the ether is ultimately to assume that empty space has no physical qualities whatsoever. The fundamental facts of mechanics do not harmonize with this view. According to the general theory of relativity, space is endowed with physical qualities. In this sense, therefore, there exists an ether. According to the general theory of relativity, space without ether is unthinkable."
Space without ether is unthinkable. Ain't no nothing if there is no ether. It's just like life itself. Ain't no life if there ain't no carbon. You could talk about that 6 atoms, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, all you want. If you don't have the adhesive of carbon to put all that shit together, ain't no life. There is no existence. So even this dude that we worshipped, and he loved cross dressing, but that's another another episode, but he admitted to the fact that that the so-called theory that Tesla had was actually more accurate than what he was presenting. But since he was the trending thing and what the powers that be wanted to have on top, that's what we went along with. If you wanted to add something, brother, before I continue.
Yeah, Einstein was a cross dresser. Let's go.
All right, so let's start with Aries. All right, because like we said, everything starts with Aries. I'm gonna give a breakdown of each sign. I'm not gonna go deep into it, just over the fact that that there is certain aspects that I left out. Otherwise, we would have been here for like 5, 6, 7 hours. But I'm gonna break each sign down to its essential way of looking at it, depending on the specific side of the constellation that is talking about when it's talking about Aries or whatever. So if you can, brother, please.
Aries, essence, description, I am. The meaning of your own essence, of your personality, is really the strong point of the sign. Let me try that again. I'm sorry. The meaning of your own essence, of your personalities, of your personality, is really the strong point of this sign. They love power. They are competitive and very practical, capable of doing and doing without stopping. They have an incredible drive. Despite this apparent super ego, if they do not evolve and control him, is a very generous person, full of love, but at the same time, if you face it, is capable of lashing out of control without regard and with all its power against whatever they consider an obstacle in their way. They are not affected to show weakness. That is why they often pass as arrogant or vain people. But it is only because they do not know how to stop once they have started a battle.
Facts. So Aries is under the essence of the I am. All right. They are considered the war gods, and I am is the essence that resonates more with their characteristics. Is the word that resonates with them the most. They are considered to be arrogant, and very vain. But that depends on from which angle that you're approaching them. All right, because they could be full of love, like it states. It could be very generous person, full of love, but if you do the wrong thing to an Aries, you are liable to suffer the consequences. All right. So moving on. Did you wanted to add something, brother?
Aries is the head as well. They may ask, why did you do Aries first? Why not Scorpio first? The reason is because Aries is the head. Aries is the beginning. But
Right.
that's why I assume the brother did it first. It might be by accident. I don't know.
No, yeah, actually, we went into it at the beginning. Aries represents new beginnings. That's what etymologically it means. It is the spring season, where is the actual new year is when all things start. So the reason why we begin with Aries, and that's why we had the question previously: why do we start with Aries? This is why, because they are the new beginnings, they are the head of everything, and they lead by example. So they're always the first ones from that point of view.
I think there's a thing saying that all of the serial killers, not all of them, excuse me, but the greater majority of serial killers are Pisces. The greater majority of CEOs are Aries. If there's an Aries in your family, that's probably the one that's going to set up the picnic. They're going to lead things, organize them, make sure it gets done. Really leader mentality in your Aries. If a person who's an Aries is, not doing very good in life, that's a waste of a good leader. Aries are just naturally good leaders.
Fact. So we could continue, brother.
Absolutely. If they direct their potential, their great power is in the control of the astral plane. As the astral projection, the telekinesis from the astral, the extrasensory perception, the healing, and the magic are things that can be handled with ease and great power. Also, in the other pole of the powers, they are good with telekinesis, which is geokinesis, dynamo. I'm sorry.
Dynamokinesis.
Dynamokinesis, biokinesis, psychokinesis, and others. The best way to understand them is through understanding love and tolerance. Discussing is not a good option. Oh my God, white Jesus, what's going on?
Yeah, Aries are not a good person that you want to discuss certain things with, because they're not. But as far as their powers go, I mentioned at the beginning, that at the beginning of the thing, that everybody's wondering, how these, why we didn't get these powers when, we had the great alignment and everything else. And there's a process to everything, family. You don't just, snap your fingers and pop, it happens. There was an energy that was in. That's why they need you to take this. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want the damn thing, to get whatever, But if you're looking at what I'm doing, you know what they're trying to do to us, That's why they need you to take it. They need you to take it because they need to stop that alignment that happened of that alignment that gave up this energy, and that is ascending your DNA to the new level that we're supposed to be under the age of Aquarius. They got to stop that. They can't have you ascending nowhere. It ain't gonna be. We already got Crumb to worry about, and he gonna ascend and be somebody 10 times better than what he already is. Oh hell no, we can't deal with that. Get him the shot right now. So that's why they need you to do it, because we're going through a process of elevations and consciousness, because the clock above us has turned. All right, and because of that, we're under a new influence, planetary influence, constellation influence, and there is certain aspects of or abilities of us that we are about to start manifesting. We're about to start going straight X-Men on people, and people are not going to be able to understand why this is happening. Why this is happening? Like I told you, this PowerPoint, if you decide to get it, it has actual links to everything. Astral projection. If you want to look into astral projection, it gives you. And I didn't just go anywhere to go look for the receipts, family. I made sure that I went and grabbed the most legitimate source that could actually tell you that, hey, there is actually a study on these things. I'm not just talking because I figured out when I move my mouth, there's sounds that come out of my mouth. I'm actually looking into it, So astral projection, the ability of a person's spirit to travel to distant places. All right, that's one of the abilities that we find on Aries. We also find telekinesis, also known as geokinesis. For those interested, it also has a breakdown of what it is: the ability to manipulate Earth at will using one's mind, generally by means of psychokinetic or psychic energy. He can make mountains right by using telekinesis. In the Bible, brother, I can't recall exactly where it's at, but there is a scripture where it says that all you need to move a mountain is a grain of faith, or
Yeah, a mustard seed.
a mustard seed. Facts, and it's because we don't need to really do much for this to actually occur or take place. It's actually something that all we have to do is want to do it, and not have all these other chemicals affecting us in our body that are stopping us from actually doing certain things, But moving forward, just wanted to make sure that the family was aware of that. Dynamo kinesis, if anybody was interested, is a kinetic ability that allows one to create, manipulate energy, whether it be physical, metaphysical, or magical. All right. Biokinesis, I'm not going to go through all of them. I just want to make sure that the family knows that there is an actual. If you ever wonder how come there is people that are born with different color eyes, there is a way. If you have biokinesis within you and that ability, you could actually post notes all over the place. Like, I want to have green eyes. If you're Aries, try it out. I want to have green eyes. Put posts all over, everywhere you're at, in your car, in the bathroom, when you put it in your thing, and start implanting the thought in your head, and you will start to manifest this biokinetic power that actually makes you mutate your genes, whether it be the color of your eyes or everything. But there's a full article on biokinesis if anybody is interested, as well as psychokinesis. But moving forward, our brother, unless you wanted to add something.
Black Moon Lilith in Aries. The deepest fear of Lilith in Aries is a fear of unworthiness. Aries is the hero, the protector of the underdog, and needs to feel worthy and successful. Because of this fear, Aries has issues with low self-esteem and self-identity, as people with this placement are prone to compare themselves with others. The goal for Lilith in Aries to overcome this is not to measure their own success or standards by other people's, but to value themselves and others as unique individuals.
Facts. So this is the aspect that as we previously stated, of why we find the Black Moon Lilith in all our signs. We're gonna see that she's there to balance us out, to provide us with with the dark aspect of what it is that could occur if we continue in such ways, and this is what it represents when it's on Aries, all right? Because Aries always has that fear of unworthiness, all right? And because of that leads them down certain paths. Everything on our life is a series of paths. Everything's pre-written. It's not that we don't have choice, because we do have choice. It's just depending on whether you choose to go right or go left. There is already something preset that's going to happen or occur if you choose to go right, or if you choose to go right, or if you choose to go left. Or maybe you decide that, you know what, I'm not going to go in either way. I'm going to go straight forward. I want to see what happens. Or I'm going to walk away from it all and I'm going to go backwards. There is a consequence, for every action. All right. So that's why we find the Black Moon Lilith, like we explained earlier in the PowerPoint, in all the signs. But this is the aspect of her in Aries. If we the traits of Aries is very simplistic, just real quick, what their element is, what their quality is. If you want to look into the different qualities of each sign, you could look into that yourself, just so it could help you with the aspects of it, but if we can, this real quick, brother.
Oh, you want to read this whole thing?
Yeah, just yeah, is from starting from the left on the elements, and then just their
Element for Aries is fire. Quality, cardinal. Color, red. Day, Tuesday. Ruler, Mars. Greatest overall compatibility, Libra, Leo. Compatible signs for Aries should consider Sagittarius, Leo, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Lucky numbers 1, 8, 17. Date range March 21st through April 19th. Strengths: courageous, determined, confident, enthusiastic, optimistic, honest, passionate. Weaknesses: impatient, moody, short-tempered, impulsive, aggressive. Aries like comfortable clothes, taking on leadership roles, physical challenges, individual sports. Aries dislike inactivity, displays work that does not use one's talents.
facts. So these are the traits that you find within Aries. These are not totally dominant over them. Everybody has their own characteristics that they present, but we all have a pattern that we follow more often than others, and these are the traits that we tend to to find more than anything in Aries. If you wanted to add something before I continue, brother. So let's look at Taurus, which their essence that they resonate with is the I have. That's the essence that they're always expressing the most.
The natives of this sign are stubborn by nature, but at the same time, that stubbornness can be transformed into iron will, into spiritual strength, if they know how to cope with it, to be the most evolved point of the scale. I'm sorry, to the most evolved point of the scale. They are great collectors of things because it is in their nature to want to have, to want to possess, to feel security and progress. This is mainly due to the fact that they are a sign of land, where the connection with matter, with the practical, with the fundamental energies is the key of their power.
Right. They're an earth sign, they're a line sign, the bull, when he's running at you, he grasps at the earth, and that's how he secures himself, that's one of the reasons why they have the characteristics that they have. Now they do love to collect things, because it's in their nature to have things. They always are the ones that you have. I got a car collection, and I got a and collection or whatever, but they tend to have that tendency to want to have collections of different things, as they resonate with the word I have. Wanted to add something, brother? So Taurus, and their kinetic powers that they have available for themselves, brother, if you can.
Telekinesis, healing, electrokinesis, dynamokinesis, and other power related to the projection of large amounts of energy into matter, produce more than anything from the physical field, as telekinesis might be by magnetism or electrostatic, more than that generated from the astral plane. The way to communicate with bullfighters is through practical, material, and powerful things. They love what represents strength and vigor, as well as having.
Facts, facts. So these these kinetic powers based on the planets that are having influence on them. Since they are a land or an earth sign, they are gonna have the power of terrakinesis. All right, terra is Latin for dirt. All right, that's what terra stand, and kinesis is obviously about the a specific a power of you being able to use your mind for something. And when you look into telekinesis, is the ability to manipulate Earth at will using one's mind, generally by means of psychokinetic or psychic energy. He can make mountains rise by using telekinesis. All right. So there is different aspects. I mean, there is the telekinesis is the control of the earth, and that is the one aspect that it gives Taurus, because they are an earth sign. All right, electrokinesis, as we have I think
I
I've
think we went. I think we went through all of these already.
yeah, I think we went to electrokinesis or whatever, and dynamokinesis as well, which is the when you're changing your biological self. So Black Moon, Lilith and Taurus, go ahead, brother.
The deepest fear of Lilith in Taurus is the fear of scarcity. Taurus strive to find security in material comforts, and the Lilith is the sign in this sign creates issues of not having enough to feel safe, and therefore tends to overdo it with collecting things of material value or to indulge in compulsion consumption. The goal for Lilith in Taurus is not to fill the empty void that fills with things, and to stretch themselves beyond their comfort zones in the material world by tuning into their spiritual nature.
Facts. Since they are an earth sign, they have a tendency to detach themselves too far from the spiritual realm, and that's what Lilith is there. The Black Moon Lilith is there to try to make sure that they stay leveled in between both realms, not only looking at the materialistic, but always looking into the spiritual. That's what's going to help a Taurus to be able to level all their aspects and nature. You wanted to add something, brother?
No.
All right. So just to go through the traits real quick, just not to make it too repetitive. Their element is air. Their quality is fixed because they're an earth sign. So they're always in place. Their color that resonates with them is green and pink. Their day is Friday and Monday, and they're ruled by the planet Venus. All right, Venus has a great influence on them. All right, and their greatest overall compatibility is Scorpio and Cancer. And other compatible signs that Taurus should consider is also Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces. Their lucky numbers would be 2, 6, 9, 12, and 24, which is all based on astrological places of where the constellation is in place. Their date range, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, is between April 20 to May 20. They have strengths that are reliable, patient, practical, devoted, responsible, and stable. But they also have weaknesses of being stubborn, possessive, and uncompromising. Now, a Taurus likes gardening, because they are an earth sign. So they're always going to be attracted to everything that deals with the sign. They love cooking because you're supposed to cook from the earth. They love music, romance, high quality clothes, working with their hands. Everything has to be very physical for them. Hence, they are an earth sign. Their dislike sudden they hate sudden changes. Anything that brings them out of their routine, out of nowhere, they hate that type of aspect. They have complications, insecurity of any kind, and synthetic fabrics. They're very. That's why they like their high quality clothes. They're not gonna wear no Fruit of the Loom shirt. They're gonna want an actual cotton shirt. That gives them more comfort, which they're in because they're in their feeling. This is my sign. Our essence is the I thing. The Gemini is you will find it in biblically speaking, because if everybody hasn't realized, the Bible is for me, in my perspective, the Bible is an astronomy book and a history book. It's talking about the astro, but the book of Thomas, when you look at the etymology of Thomas means the twin. All right, the twin, and it's talking about the Jesus's twin. When they're talking about the book of Thomas, it's actually the book that is explaining the journey of the brothers, the two brothers, which is Jesus and Thomas. All right, and you can look into it a little further. I just wanted to make sure that that I threw that in there. But Gemini, go ahead, brother.
The Gemini are people with great power on the mental plane. His feeling the world happens rather through his thought, always dual in search of understanding the polarity of things. At one time, they seem to be one way, and the next they have changed. These apparent forces are not really contradictory, but are a way to express all the possibilities or paths of the situation in order to fully understand reality and facts.
Facts. We are very abrupt people, where we could be happy one minute, and the next minute we might be mighty upset. One thing that I tell everybody is that I have 13 personalities sitting inside my head, and any one of them can take over at any time depending on what button you pushed. It's just different aspects of a Gemini, that in which we always take whatever it is that the situation brings about, to have a personality attached to it, for us to be able to deal with the situation. But moving forward, if you can, brother.
Gemini, if you manage to empower and control this gift of covering all possibilities of living in duality, the the Geminians, the Geminians,
Yeah, Geminians.
the Geminians may find that they are very good for telepathy, chronokinesis, telekinesis, through mental focus. Aerokinesis is also good for them, and ultimately all the faculties where the mind and the perception of themselves is the main axis. The best way to deal with them is from the mind, and especially having a great tolerance for ambiguity, in which they are true teachers. Above all, they are innate seekers of all that makes them evolve. They are bored and bothered by the lack of originality. If you are great and you look great, then they will feel that they will feel at ease with you.
Facts, facts, facts. So this is one of the aspects that Geminis have, based on their planetary alignments or whatever. One of their strongest ones, and one of the ones that I've experienced a lot, is chronokinesis. Chronokinesis deals with the kinetic power to be able to control time. You could call me crazy if you want to, but I am able to manipulate time. My wife always tells everybody tells me that I'm gonna be late for my own funeral, because I'm always, I'm always running late. But they consider me running late because I'm always rushing to get to where I need to be at. I always leave at the last minute. But what they don't understand is that from deep inside me, I know that when I leave, all I gotta do is turn on my music, put myself in a certain frequency, and I could actually slow time down to a point where everybody's feeling the time pass by, at a certain speed. But for me, my wife always tells me, he's like, oh, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. Now I'm gonna call him. Don't call him. You're gonna make it. Don't worry about it. Next thing you know, we show up. She swore she was gonna be 10, 20 minutes late, and I get her there 5 minutes early. She's like, how do you do that all the time? It's like, time don't run the same way when we're with together and you get in that mood of let's go. Once I decide to say let's go, time tends to go in the flow that I indicated for it to be, if I'm in the right mindset. But chronokinesis is one of the one that we have a close connection with if you're a Gemini, as well as the other ones, but that's the one that I see that manifests itself more with me. Not that it will with anybody else, but anyways, Black Moon Lilith is Gemini. If we could, brother.
Rejection is the deepest fear of Lilith in Gemini, and too much emphasis is put on what other people think of them. Lilith and Gemini issues revolve around labeling others as selfish or accusing them of not doing the right thing. These are the qualities themselves and therefore project these feelings onto others. The goal here is for Lilith and Gemini not to compare themselves with others, to express their own individuality and not care whether others like them or not.
Right. So we're an air sign, so we always have our speech that we have to express ourselves. We have to provide our truth, but we're always worried about what others are going to think of what we say, of what we say that we do. And because of that, is something that we have to level. One thing that I tell Brother Crumb before, that one of my biggest battles right now, within my family anyways, is the fact that I'm not proud of it, about what I'm about to say or whatever, but it's just part of my life of what I used to be. But I'm not that person anymore. But when I was younger, my Brother Crumb knows, I was the biggest liar that you could ever meet. Me being out of balance put me in a perspective that the air that was coming out of me was all out of balance. Lying for me was so easy. I was literally the boy who cried wolf. My whole entire family sees me as this dude right here is trying to tell us what's truth now. Bro, you've been telling lies. You came out telling lies. What is you talking about? So I have a hard time, and this is the reason why I'm so grateful that Brother Crumb allows me to present my information on his channel, because I have a hard time having my people listen to what I'm saying, even though that now I choose to make sure that I speak truth, and I don't put my vibrations out of balance, because lying is what gets us out of balance, that air, and us worried about what others are going to think. And because we're worried about what others are going to think, we start making shit up just to accommodate what other people might perceive as wrong. And that's one of the things that gets us out of balance. But if you didn't have anything else to add, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, I definitely have something to add. I think, because people be like, well, what can go wrong with love? Love is such a good thing. And I'm like, yeah, there's some bad love. And like, well, what can go wrong with caring? Caring is a good thing. Family, I can't disagree more. I feel like some people care about the wrong things, though I got nothing to do with that. Some people care too much. Even me at one point in time, I cared too much. And that's what stopped me from doing a lot of things. I didn't get successful until I stopped caring. I don't care what people think. I don't care how people feel. I'm going to do what I do, especially when it comes to me. I care what you think when it comes to what you think about yourself. Like, especially I see amazing people. Hey, I just want you to know that you're amazing. Um, and that's the full extent of that. Other than what you think about me, yeah, whatever. How you feel about me, yeah, whatever. Now, if you do send me positive energy, I'll receive that and reciprocate it. Other than that, I think a lot of times when we care so much, it becomes a bad thing. And I think you were talking about this whole measure, just the chaos. Caring to a certain degree can be chaotic as well and throw your energy off. I think that's a true statement.
Facts, facts, facts. And I see, that the family could relate. We have a tendency, so if you know a Gemini, that's one of the aspects that you're gonna know if they're out of balance or not, if they're legitimate or not. Just test out their truth, and you'll be able to find out how aligned they are or not, based on just that little aspect, which affects us so much. But moving forward, Gemini traits, like I said, we're an element of air. We have a quality that is mutable. The reason why we have so many different personalities, our color is light green or yellow. Our day is Wednesday. We're ruled by Wednesday. I mean, we're ruled by the planet Mercury. It has a great effect on us. Look into that planet itself and what science tells you that the composition of Mercury is and how it affects you. If you're a Gemini, go out there and find out what Mercury is made of, and you'll find out what here on Earth affects you based on what the composition of Mercury supposedly is. I'm not telling you Mercury's an actual planet that you can land on and go, but based on what they tell us, you'll be able to get an aspect of how Mercury affects our body. Our greatest overall compatibility are with Sagittarius and Aquarius, but we're also great with other signs. One of the ones that we should consider is our Aries, Leos, Libra, Aquarius, and Sagittarius. Our lucky numbers are 5, 7, 14, and 23, and our date range from May 21st to June 20th. Our strength are we are very gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable. We have the ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas. But our weaknesses are we're very nervous, we're very inconsistent, and we're very indecisive. We love music, books, magazines, chats with nearly anyone, short trips around the town. But we dislike being alone, being confined, repetition, and a routine. Did you wanted to add something, brother, before I continue?
Please continue.
So Cancer, their essence is the I feel, and I believe that based on the time, Cancer is probably. I'm gonna have a second presentation. We have about 15 more minutes before we're at 2 hours. So based on that alone, it should take us about 15 minutes to go through Cancer, and we'll pick up on part two. On what sign comes after Cancer? Leo. We'll pick up on Leo on part two. You agree with that, brother Crow?
Fair enough.
So,
In essence description, I feel. The people of this sign carry with a deep sensitivity, and that is why their nature is to a large extent to think about others, to think about the other, and to have empathy, which leads them throughout life to be hurt many times, but without daring themselves to hurt, Their connection with life, with emotions, and the cause of their greatest wealth, prone to melancholy or sadness, but also possessing a gift that makes them living antennas.
facts, facts, facts. So their essence that they have that resonates with them the most is the I feel. Everything is about feeling with them. That's the reason why they carry themselves with this sense of deep sensitivity. And like it says right here, it's in their nature. to a large extent, to think about the other and to have empathy. They're very they're empath. Cancer is very empathetic towards other people, so that their antennas that they have help them receive this energies that they perceive from other people, and to help them feel, because they're always looking for the feeling for why things are occurring. So you wanted to add something, brother?
No, please.
So Cancer and their power signs, if we could look into them, brother.
If they channel this gift, especially in regard to the practice of kinesis, of the mental and spiritual powers, they will have in their favor the power to connect with people and things, thus being able to obtain greater control of the matter. Like in the case of telekinesis, for example, or biokinesis by connecting with others through their empathy, as well as telepathy. Their power is the connection, the way to communicate with the Cancerians is through the heart, the feelings, the skin, everything that expresses the feeling.
Facts, facts, facts. So one of the one of their kinesis that they're very prevalent in is also the biokinesis. They're able to manipulate their genetic structure. One of them being the eyes. Also with the which includes the power of the mind, because they're able to restructure literally their genes to different things, like we have here the babies with different color eyes or whatever. They have a very very high influence on biokinesis that they don't have control of as of yet. And that's one of the reasons why we experience these different colors in eyes, tones, and everything else. Is being We're the ones creating those things, and if it's not you personally, these Cancerians that are all over the world, they literally don't have to make the changes on themselves. They could create these changes on other people. All right, and that's one of the reasons why today, we see so many of these aspects. You wanted to add something, brother? All right, so Black Moon, Lilith, and Cancer, if you can.
The black moon Lilith in Cancer reflects a deep fear of abandonment. Cancers are the nurturers in society, but are prone to feelings of loneliness and lack of support. Lilith in Cancer brings up issues around dependency and codependency, and detests people that came across as needy or clingy. This is a part of themselves that they dislike and therefore reflect these issues onto others. The goal here for Lilith in Cancer is to learn to do things for themselves and practice unconditional love.
Facts. So Lilith has a lot to. I mean, Cancers have a lot to learn from the Black Moon Lilith that is in within their signs. Because it helps them to gain an aspect of them that they're having a great problem with. And that's being able to practice unconditional love. All right, as well as it's not only mostly to themselves, but to others as well. So the Black Moon Lilith is going to help you in all those aspects of your personalities, once you comprehend that these issues are occurring because you're out of balance. All right. Did you wanted to add something, brother?
Please continue.
All right, so their Cancer traits. For the Cancer, their element is water. Their quality is cardinal. Cardinal is very how can I put it? Very high up there in rank per se. Their color is white. The days are also Monday and Thursday, and they're ruled by the moon. Now, their greatest overall compatibility comes with Capricorn and Taurus, but they're also good. Should consider Virgo, Scorpios, and Pisces. All right, their lucky numbers are 2, 3, 15, and 20. Date range from June 21st to the 22nd, and the strengths are that they're tenacious, highly imaginative. They're loyal, emotional, and sympathetic, but they're also persuasive. Now, most of their weaknesses that they show a lot is that they're very moody, pessimistic, suspicious. They're manipulative and insecure. But at the same time, Cancer likes our art, home-based hobbies, relaxing near or in water, helping loved ones, a good meal with friends. But they dislike strangers or any criticism of their mother, revealing or revealment of their personal life. Those are the characteristics that we find within Cancer, and we'll go into Leo on the next go around, and the rest of the other zodiac signs. We're gonna break down Ophiuchus on the next part, and we're gonna bring about all the information that needs to be said of why this 13th sign had been omitted, and why it's not no longer something that we speak of today.
Brother, did we talk about the Black Moon Lilith before we went into it? Was that part of a slide that I wasn't here for?
Yeah, the Black Moon and can. Oh yeah. In the beginning of the PowerPoint, yeah, you weren't here when we went into why the Black Moon Lilith is in all signs and why she represents herself in all signs.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I'm really excited to go into depth with the others. I want to let the family know that this Juneteenth I will be here in Atlanta. That's right, family. This Juneteenth I'll be right here in Atlanta with the Minister of Information, and you can join us. Excuse me. I'm looking for my thing. How can you join us? Oh, I think I switched it here. I'm gonna delete that and hit that button right there by going to crumbtv.info. If you want to, oh, I'm sorry, /events. That's what I was looking for. Sorry about that, family. If you want to join us, you can go to crumbtv.info /events. That's crumbtv.info /events this Juneteenth. It's going to be a PowerPoint presentation. You already know how we get down with the Minister of Information. That's going to be fire. Also, in July, after Juneteenth, we're going to be in the Bean. If you know what that means, the Bean is another name for Boston. We're going to be in Roxbury, that area of Boston to be exact. So definitely join us there. It's a free event. Come rock with us. If you rock with us, you can get the address and everything like that at crumbtv.info /events. You can meet up with us, get all the updates from the website. So that's what that is. With that said, brother, did you tell the people who you are, where they can find you at? Unmute your mic.
Because I see a couple of people asking. So if I could just share my screen real quick, please. I'm looking for to build my YouTube channel. So if you could go to the Taz Show, you'll find me under the Taz Show. You could find me on I'm very active on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook under Tasmaniac Wolf. But you could if you could go to YouTube and look me up under the Taz Show, and just subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so you get all notifications. The second part is coming. I have all my presentations there, a plethora of material. But of all places, that when I'm online and I'm bringing a presentation, I'm always on Chrome TV.
Now let me just back up, because at that point I know you passed the ball. Let me pass the ball back real quick. A lot of the stuff on your page is not a reflection of my page. A lot of content is in Spanish. So family, if he's fluent in Spanish and in English. So if you have somebody who is not fluent in English, or they know a little bit of English, or they're mostly Spanish speaking, or whatever the case may be, a lot of these PowerPoints are in another language, and that is his first language. English is the second, though he's fluent in both. So you can definitely go there to get the Spanish version, where he breaks it down for that community, the Spanish speaking community. And nothing Spanish is on my platform. So there's something unique and special about his platform that makes it totally worth going there for people of a particular niche. We're going to be doing some things in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. We're going to be doing some things in Chicago for the Spanish community, family, where we bring some information via the brother Taz. I'm going to be in the building. Yo habla castellano un poco. I'm joking. I'm joking. But I'll definitely be in the building when the Chicago thing jumps off. Brother, I want to thank you, within all seriousness, Zodiac Decoded. This is obviously part 1. We're going to be doing part 2 sooner than later. I want to thank you again for that. As you already know, family, it is I, your humble brother Crumb of Crumb TV. You can call me the master student. I love to, keep it like that. I want to leave you the exact same way I came to you, family. In peace.
Hey, you are now watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV.
Hey, we in Chicago, y'all, and y'all watching Crumb TV.
It's your brother, Timbuktu. I say.
You are now watching Crumb TV.
You in Chi-Town finest, you hear me? Inglewood, always up to no good.
Man, I'm telling my brother Crumb.
You're watching Crumb TV.
I'm your humble brother, and you are watching Crumb TV.
Reporting live from the Wild Hunter Southside Chicago.
And you now watching Crumb TV.
And you're watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV, baby. Hey.
Crumb.